All right, guys. Today we're going to be doing the weekly outlook, basically. So I'm going to be going over what happened, what I was looking at, and all that other good stuff for NQ. First things first, we always start off on the higher time frame. From like a weekly outlook, you can see we're nowhere near. We're breaking all-time highs, breaking above previous weekly highs, and that is the new all-time high. As of right now, we do have this buy set and balance, which we have not reached up into. All this your market maker buy model has been completed. I do see some retracement, eventually occurring. I don't know when. On the 3-day though, you can see we have a steady 3-day up climb, and we are, if we keep this open, we're going to form a bullish fair value gap. But as of right now, you can see we're sweeping above the highs, coming back down. Seems like we're having a rejection. But this candle did also have closure above, showing higher prices. We're going to see if this one comes, if it sweeps, comes down, and then eventually closes above. If we have higher prices, if not, close below. What are we going to be aiming for this candle's low? On the daily time frame, we have this little mitigation block that was respected. As soon as we closed above, you can see we dug all the way into it, and then we moved up higher. But this also could have been your CRT here if you were looking to trade that right there. Easy one trade a week. That's all you need. So on the 12H, we do also have, again, another order block with a break-in market structure. So I guess you can say the break-in market structure with the fair value gap, showing bullish prices. Very, very strong indication that the market wants to continue higher if we do respect this. That's all I'm going to say. We were inside of this range and we broke out of it. And, this is the key area of where do we hold this and continue to the upside, or do we make this inverse and start reaching for these lows? That's kind of the main objective we're going to be watching. And of course, also this right here. Now, if it disrespects this one, I can likely see this one getting disrespected, since we do also have relative equal lows down there. And then on the 4-hour, we also have this 4-hour buy set and balance, which I did have marked out, but we're going to leave it there, honestly, marked out. And we're going to mark out some areas of liquidity on the 1H right here. All right, so on the 1-hour, we do have some key areas right here, which is going to be the previous day low. We're going to be looking to see if the market disrespects this 4-hour fair value gap, and then we eventually start to move down lower. Again, that 3-day PD array is going to be very, very vital to see if the market wants to continue to the downside, and then if not, respecting these 1-hour CRTs. But if we scale up to like the 2H, we can probably find one. So yeah, we can see we have one CRT right here on the 2H, maybe on the 3H. 3H looks a lot better. This is why it's very important to scale time frames correctly whenever you're using CRT, or whenever you're trying to find one PD array or one confluence in general, especially the highest time frame, because that usually gives you the highest indication with the time-based aspect and also, and all that into consideration. So yeah, that's basically pretty much it for NQ. All I'm going to be watching for is for this week to see is if we respect that 12-hour buy set and balance, and if we respect the 4-hour one. If not, then eventually making it inverse, aiming for these lows and targeting, that all this liquidity that we've been having down here forming. But again, we're in a bullish state. We're in a bullish trend, breaking above highs, creating fair value gaps, displacing above. I want to see the market continue to the upside, but if we don't get that, then I understand why. We're in such a deep premium on the weekly time frame, like I showed you. All right, so if we go to ES, it's really the same thing. Same thing on the 3-day. You can see we're kind of forming a CRT there. I'm not too sure. We still got 3 days and 6 hours. And then on the daily, we also have this daily, buy set and balance that formed. We also have this right here, this buy set and balance that formed on the daily. So again, ES does look really good. Even though on NQ we have it on the 12H, ES has it on the daily, which is by far a lot more important, since we did sweep lows. We did sweep the sell side, and we started to move high, and we broke structure, which is really, really nice here. And again, here it looks like we did form some form of breaker. And on the 8-hour, we also have a buy set and balance there. And on the 4H, we also have that here. As of right now, I'm going to mark out the sell set and balance right here and leave that as our confluence to get inversed, since we also have the daily buy set and balance down there. So I would want to see if the market wants to push up and then eventually come back down. I'm not against that. Forming a bullish power 3, if not, just coming down and then eventually making this inverse later throughout the week and pushing up higher, aiming for these highs up here. That would be an ideal objective for us to meet. So in the 1-hour, we also have that CRT form. On the 15-minute time frame right now, you can see we are looking a little bit more bearish. We're breaking below lows. If we close above here, though, and we make this inverse, we're going to have that bullish breaker form. We're going to be aiming for these highs up here and just targeting higher prices, and of course the standard deviation objectives. Looks really bullish. We have the daily PD array, we have the 4-hour CIBI. All I'm going to be watching to see is which one gets respected and where the market wants to go from there. Honestly, that's mainly the main objective right now, that all I can see. All right, so YM, we have a buy set and balance, which we have tapped up into. We also have these highs up here, which we have not even yet. On the weekly, I don't know if we're forming CRT here on the weekly. I'm not too sure. So yeah, we are forming CRT here on the weekly. This one by far looks the best, if I'm being truly honest, to trade. If you want to like catch a really, really good setup, I think this one is going to be the one. And then on the 3-day, we had 3-day CRT form, which I did mark out. On the daily time frame, we have a bullish order block there. But looks like it isn't really going to respect it. Looks like we're kind of more respecting this bearish one, pushing us lower. But this is going to be our buy side objective for now. And then on the 12-hour, we have this BPR right here. A very, very vital point where we respect the market, where I want to see the market respect this PDRA and continue to the upside and reach for these highs. Especially with the CRT forming. I think this is a beautiful, we open up, and then we should start to move up and just go straight up from here. We can come down, but I just wouldn't want to see that come down here. If I'm being truly honest, I would want to see it stay inside of this range right here. And it looks really nice. So on the 4-hour, we have this 4-hour sell side imbalance formed. And we're going to see if the market can come up and make this inverse to continue to the upside here. On the 1H, looks like, again, we're forming a market maker sell model, reaching for these lows, and then eventually starting to move up higher. It's kind of what it seems like, since those look like relatively good lows. I wouldn't want to see the market come down there, but if it has to, then eventually it will. It's going to do its own thing. All I'm going to have to do is react to it and follow the lead of what the market is giving me, and that's simple. It's that simple. So yeah, so again, we can probably see this get respected, push up, make this inverse, continue to the upside, and reach for this daily objective. And if not, then eventually come in and sweeping these lows, coming back up, trying to respect it or close inside of it, and then eventually continue to the upside. But if not, then eventually reaching for these lows, making this inverse, and continuing to the downside, which is something I don't want to see. All right, it's going to be a weekly outlook on euro. We have made this buy side imbalance inverse. If we go down to the daily, of course, the 3-day has an inversion for rally gap also. On the daily time frame, we do have this buy side imbalance right here. The market has been respecting for a while, and we are forming a potential CRT right there, or we are forming it. On the 12-hour, we have the CRT marked out. We also have a buy side imbalance and a sell side imbalance, which I need to change. I need to change it to red or something here. And basically, you can see the market is in a downtrend. Do we want to continue to the downside, reach for this low or reach for this high? We'll find out through this 8-hour bullish BPR. If the bullish BPR holds, of course, the CRT is going to get disrespected along with the 12-hour sell side imbalance, and we're going to make that inverse, and we're going to disrespect the weekly PDRA. But if the weekly PDRA is, of course, intact and more powerful, it's going to use the 12-hour to override this 8-hour and the daily PDRA to continue to the downside and reach for those lows. So right now, of course, we're more bearish than bullish with how we have been moving, but we started ranging here, so I'm indecisive about this one. But that's really the key factors here we're going to be watching out for, is that 8-hour and that 12-hour buy side imbalance and sell side imbalance. All right, the last market I'm going to be looking at is gold, and I'm going to call it a wrap here. On gold, currently we have a 3-day CRT formed, swept the low. Now we're aiming for the high. We're inside this candle. We're inside the previous week low and high. I'm not too sure. I'm indecisive about where the market would want to go on gold. But again, it is looking like it's been inside of a range for a while. On the daily, we don't have much here, honestly, but you can see we formed another CRT here on the daily, a smaller one, which I can mark out for you guys. Very indecisive about where gold wants to go. I'm not too sure if it wants to go there. Yeah, we just don't know where. I do see it being a little bit more bullish and bearish, but we're just inside, back and forth inside of a range, unable to break out. On the 12-hour, we do have a 12-hour bullish order block, and we also have a 12-hour buy side imbalance formed, and then we also have a CRT here forming, which we can retrace back up into this and then push up higher. On the 4H, again, we have a 4-hour buy side imbalance, which we are tapping up into. And again, I do see this being a little bit more bullish than bearish, especially with how we have been ranging, and then we break above the range highs and disrespect the range lows. We instantly sweep and come up higher, and then we eventually start pushing up higher, which again, I do see us being a little bit more bullish than bearish for now. And that's basically really it for the weekly outlook. I do plan on doing more of these, and I actually want to give more and do more, but again, this is very time consuming. I have other things to do with the weekly vlogs on the other channel and doing my other tasks, and I have work and all that. So I try to make this simple, short, and sweet of what I'm watching and how I'm watching this. So again, 12-hour, respecting it. I want to see higher prices, seeing a 1-hour CRT form or a 4H CRT form, and then using that to my advantage to drop to the 15, and then finding my entry off of the 15-minute confluence. It could be a 15-minute, change in the state, 15-minute CRT. It could be a 15-minute fair value gap with the CRT, or combining those PDRAs with the CRTs, and then eventually looking for a 3-minute inversion or a 3-minute change in state to take an entry there. Again, expect more trade recaps throughout the week. And during the weekends, I will try to do more weekly outlooks like this. I'll try to make this a weekly thing on the weekends, and then eventually probably one backtesting video or live stream during the weekend also. So yeah.